This is stream number 3 of 2026. This is before the stream starts. We're going to be playing Minecraft today. Playing in my super flat world. I'm not super sure what we're going to be doing, but yeah. I was trying to figure out what game to play today. I didn't necessarily want to play Hades again today. I might play that tomorrow. Or might play something else. We'll see. I was thinking about playing Terraria. Or something new. I don't know. We'll see. There's gonna be something I play new in a couple of days. A friend was telling me that I should try out Arc Raiders. We'll see how I like Arc Raiders. It's another shooter type game. I'm not big on shooters, but I might try it. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and start stream. Hey, live. That's live. This is live. That's good. That's good. Ugh. There. Cool. So, I don't know if anyone else will be watching. They are watching. Cool. If not, whatever. I think basically the goal of today will be to I got like, oh, that is so trippy. I have OBS open and I also have, oh, that's I don't know if I like that. That's weird. Okay, so it's been a while since I've been here. What is the clicking? What's clicking? What is the clicking? Shoulders. Why is it not breaking? There. Let's see. So it's been a while since I've streamed this world. It's been a while since I've streamed in general. Please speaking. The clicking. Okay. Why breaking? What broke here? Okay, you're reading. This one has stuff in it. Why does I hit every single button? Mean to. Okay. Let's see here. Is it an issue of this machine? Sometimes I know, sometimes I don't know. And in this instance, I don't remember how the machine works. I should know how this works because I rolled it like so. Read signal that stops that. Stop. What do these pistons do? Obviously do some. I didn't realize this was broken. Maybe it's not broken. But this piston, it powering signal from there be Y. Is there, let's load up. Oh, I had it in here. Is it the camera? Who designed this one? Did I build this from a schematic or? You would think I would organize this. Okay, it's gonna be that one. Please. What was hockey? This, red layers. Backwards. This is kind of just how this goes. Things break and then you fix them constantly, repeatedly, forever. There, that. Okay, I'm missing a rail right there. That's why. It's fine. So let me grab rail. If the rail doesn't, sorry, I keep clearing my throat, and I really shouldn't do it without muting, but I don't care at this point because I don't think anyone is watching. They watch elsewhere, and fuck it up, Buttercup. People sometimes don't have clear throats. Okay. What happened here? It looks like. Let's see. Let's just reset. Did that break? Something changed that was supposed to. That's fine, that's fine. What was it that made this display? Just gonna turn this off again. This area looks very wrong. How are these pistons supposed? Let me watch back. What powers those? Those are supposed to move back this way. It's all fine. That's just wrong state. Is it just these? I think it's working. Off. And I will look to see. It should be working. See if it happens. So, it has been a long time since I've streamed this world. So, some of the things that have changed, and they're like temporary changes, not like permanent things I intend on keeping the entire time. Just for like, until I have a certain thing completed. So, one of those things is I installed a magnet mod because I was having a lot of trouble with like the collecting taking way longer than it should. So if I have that magnet off, I was having to go collecting like this. And I was having the same issue with the lava buckets. It was taking way too long. So if I have that on, I don't have to worry about it. I pick up all the things. My speed of collection is way faster, which is good for me because I don't have a lot of time to go dig this. I want to collect all of it because I'm trying to reach a certain amount of netherrack, so I don't have to worry about collecting it anymore. One of those things where you, one of the materials in the game that you have to manually collect, you can't auto-farm this in any way. So, because I want to tear out a certain amount of nether here, and you can kind of see what I'm going to tear out here. This little line here, there's a line here, should be right here as well. I think there's a lot of dead space where I've already cleared stuff. So, yeah. I am collecting as much as I can of all these different areas. And so, as soon as this nether portion is cleared out, I'm going to get rid of that mod that has the magnets. One of the other big mods I have is the backpack mod. Right now, this is twice as big as it normally is. I'm going to be changing it back down to just 27 slots instead of full double chest here. Just because I feel like that double chest is too much. But maybe I keep it, maybe I don't. It helps significantly with inventory, at least for me. It's probably more than I realistically need to have it at. And I want to experiment with having it lower. If I'm like, oh, no, man, that's not good, then we'll change it. But that one was added for the Trials update. When we switched over to the Trials update, I had way too many issues with like too many items. So there was 2 mods I added for that. And I couldn't update right away. And because of the way they changed the update cycles, I would like switch out your mods every however long, every 2 months. It was too much for me because I was only able to play for like the past year. So having to update all my mods every single time was not sustainable. So I'm still on 1.21. So just that. You can kind of tell. I've not played in a while. Because my movement is terrible and I used to have really good movement. I'm not sure if my... Oh, 1 second. Right here. Okay. Dark, or is it just... Sorry. Yeah. So I added bundles in, and then those backpacks, because I was raiding hundreds of trial chambers, because you can get scaffolding, the loot chests. And that is the only way to get scaffolding. And I needed, I think, 18.5 stacks. It might be 19.5 stacks for a shulker farm, because the previous designs of the portals were starting to break. Like, there's a certain update, I don't remember which one it was, but it broke all of the portal ones, and so I had torn down all my shulker farms that had portals, which I had built, I think, two or three different ones, and they all broke for various reasons, and then I'd have to rebuild it. And my current one is broken, but that one I think is some strange update issue where snowmen cannot fire snowballs through water. I believe what I was experimenting and having issues with. So I have a solution for it. I just haven't. It broke, and then like the shulkers died, and so I need to get a new shulker for it. That's not a big deal. And it's fine having that shulker gone, because it's going to be difficult to get the snowmen back in with that shulker there. But I do think I have a solution to fix the current farm. Although I might build a couple of new. Anyways, though, I had 2 mods installed. One was these infinite bundles. They basically hold infinite amount of stuff. And when I was looting those trial chambers, it was just tons and tons of stackable items. So I started out with shulkers, and those got to the point of like refilling way too quickly. So I switched over to a different method. Let's see if this works here. It should now. I don't think anything else broke on it. Double check. This one's fine. I don't think this is supposed to be. Oh, because there's stuff in there, it's powered, which... That... Pushing that away, which means... The clock. The clock is here. The clock is off. Is that off? That clock is on. So it should be firing here, but what is going on? Is it because redstone up here is forward? Is a block update issue? Is this there's back in here shouldn't be issue? Yes. We're gonna for your advertising. How do I do this? I remember how to let's do it safely. This we're going to how do I do this? This. Okay. Should be fine now. Sorry, there was a bot in chat. I got rid of it. They weren't spamming. I don't like having bots. So I will remove them whenever possible. Okay, we're back. What was I doing? This working now. Empty shulkers go. No, empty shulkers. Okay. We should be working soon. Okay. Sure. Let me see if it. Okay. You. Wait, I didn't break everything. Okay, you didn't break everything. Good. Okay. The mechanism should be working now. Root to there. It's good. Okay, so yeah, those are like the big mods that I've added. It's those three. Backpack, the bundles, I didn't have, this is before, this is the update before bundles were added back into the game. So that's why there's no bundles. However, the infinite bundles I added because of other issues. Let me actually go to start. Let me switch over to different. Grab this. There. Pockets. More. Most of the other mods I have on right now are quality of life stuff. Which is like the peak mod, so I can see this, see what's all, if there's different types of stuff. This doesn't show what's in it. All the same type, which I have lots of shulkers, all the same type, and I need to know when it's all the same type. Really mixed, for instance, there. If that gets mixed, I want to know that it got mixed up. I can fix it. If it's not, it's fine. It's whatever. Any second. It wasn't full, and I normally test this full, so that. Okay. Off. Off because I only need it in the nether. I might turn it back on. Was it on this side or this side? Right? It's done. Okay. So what was I saying? What was I talking about? Something. Jump down here. So yeah, I have all those shulkers of everything. I need to know when it's not netherrack in here. So having that mod. Then I have Wikaru and something else that lets me see into here. Maybe Mini HUD. I don't remember which one does. Both ones I don't play without anymore. And this. I'm working on filling all of these with lava buckets. This one is currently full with lava buckets. And which one? This one? Yeah. Okay, so I have 2 of these stacks full of lava buckets now. Shulkers of lava buckets. This one and this one are going to get filled, and then I will not need anymore. And that was not necessarily like a thing I needed to do, but like I've been doing forever. But like I just started filling buckets because I was like, oh, I need lava, and collecting so much lava that I'm here. Anyways, though, back to the surface. Okay, let's sleep. This is from the rating of whatchamacallits. Trial chambers. So this whole sorting system was entirely designed and made so that I could sort out everything I looted trial chamber, which would take ages. I think I spent maybe a couple hundred hours. No, not 100. Maybe about 100 hours. Collecting and then just putting into the filters, and then the filters all the way across. And then there was a couple of things that didn't have, or that were filtered that I couldn't get filtered, which was non-stackable items, and I would have to and I tried doing these guys, and these guys are terrible. I do not recommend non-stackable item sorting with, if they are all you have, go for it. But they are kind of terrible for it. And they also suck in super flat because you can't duplicate them because you don't have amethyst. At least not in this update. There was a hotfix update somewhere along the line that made it so that you can duplicate them, because we had trial chambers had amethyst in them in certain chests, but I could never get those chests to spawn. So yeah, it was not great, but they did help a little bit, and then they got super annoying, so I tore out the system, and they've just been sitting. This was all for the potions I would get. I'd put dragon breath on them, and then craft them arrows, because keeping around potions in mass is annoying. So I don't recommend it. But you can make the crafted arrows, and these stack super well, and there's a couple of uses for them I've not done yet. There's obviously the particle effect stuff you can do with them, but I play with particles pretty minimal, just so I can run faster. Yeah, it's fine. It's not great, but yeah, this whole area was entirely designed to de-loot from trial chambers. That's why it looks like a mess. But I've delooted, I've gotten all of what I did from the trial chambers for now. I haven't really done any of the key stuff. I did like a little bit when it first started, but like collecting keys, that's about it. Which they're great. I'm gonna be definitely doing some streams where I get my movement back and things again. Probably soon. I'm not not sure how soon-ish, but soon. Going through. Really need to collecting. Actually, we're gonna collect some more grain. So recently, I've been going through and getting rid of all the water I used to have here, which I had all this water because I was spawn proofing for that, but I'm going to be switching over to a mob switch, which I initially had one set up. Broke. So we'll have one again here soon. Back. Not rendering because I'm trying to collect. How much grass do I? Probably not much. No grass. Did I set up a filter for this? Looks like grass. So here, Maddox, loader. The backpack. Which one was it? Wood. Okay, here. Okay. Over. Up. iron? What do I need for this? Let's go in here. No, actually, it's these. Couple of sticky. 2. 8. Yes. No, yes. 2 guys. If there is anyone in chat, by the way, but please let me know how the audio is. If you need me to change anything. And you. Bricks. Okay. Don't need that. Need those. 2 of those. It, right? Oh, I need some observers. How many? 3 observers, 1 dropper. And what else? 3 hoppers. Well, more than 3. Actually, I'm going to switch this to a chat. Anything else? No? I don't think so. Okay, put that in there. Need more hoppers. This. And you. And you. You. Alright. Is it 4? 4 observers. I don't think I have any extra. Oh, sweet. That's broke. You there. Off. There. There. Okay, so now I can fill that up. Smokers. And reload the ender chest. Reload it. You. Hello. Yes. Actually. Okay. Ooh, that one didn't grab. It's not full. I don't think it matters if it's full or not, because it unloads everything anyways. And it's checking for wow. It's checking for emptiness, not for fullness. Right? Checks once that's empty. It will pulse a signal here. This will, or actually this becomes unpowered. This will then triggered, that pulls this. That, which, yeah, that's, once this goes, we're good. Yeah. I don't remember what I was talking about. That. Monsters. What update was Neural Stasis Chambers? Is that this update or this? Might be, if that's not 121, then this won't work. If it is 121, then I can change, go in and remove, or go put one down for area. Specifically over there, so that I keep hoppers loaded. But they should be loaded. I thought they were in. I don't remember where my spawn. I'm prior to when spawn chunks changed. Once the spawn chunks changed, then we have to change over to a different system to load the chunks. Because I cannot load the chunks. So my plan right now for updating is I'm going to wait until my optimization mods get updated to 121.11, I think, what they got up to. I'm just gonna wait another year. And as nice as like getting consistent update stuff, as nice as it is to see new consistent updates, it's actually really frustrating with like all of the optimization mods that you need to really run Minecraft at scale. And I'm not saying like I have like a huge scale. I definitely have a larger scale world here. I mean, it's what, 6 years old now? Something like that. It's an older world. It's not like a super old world, but it's an older world. So I kind of need some of that optimization to make it run properly. Any level of smoothness. And that's mostly because Minecraft is not super optimized at the moment. I think they will eventually optimize, make it more friendly. Bedrock can run smooth, but Java definitely could benefit from some improvements to the smoothness that it runs just base game. But there's also like some stuff that I eventually plan to add mod-wise and just maintain for the rest of the existence of this world. If I get trapped inside of an update, like a version, because that mod gets stuck, then guess who's gonna learn some modding? So I can fix that. Which I've been meaning to learn it because there's a couple of things I want to add, like quality of life things, that I just haven't. I don't know how to mod yet. But there's like, I want to add quiver capabilities to the bundle, because the bundle early game is super nice. Mid to late game, there's not a lot of reason to use it, unless you're doing a lot of building, or there's applications for it. It's good, but it's not a item that you necessarily will use a lot in the game, especially once you start planning things out and having long things to do. It doesn't become as useful. When you're exploring, it's amazing. When you're generally hanging out, it's nice, but they're not the greatest. And they could be a lot better. And the size, like, you can only have up to a stack is fine. Most cases. For my edge cases, not as nice, but that's my edge case, so it's not a big deal if, like, it doesn't work for me. So I don't think it should be designed around my stuff, but there's certain things. One of the things I want to add is capabilities of, like, you store arrows inside, it can hold more arrows if you enchant it, and there's a mod that I added that allows you to enchant bundles. However, I would really like to add a specific enchantment for making it a quiver, so it can hold up to, like, what, 3 stacks, we'll say, of It's stuck. Oh, it's stuck because I didn't add the rest of the hoppers. 32. Just because one of the enchantments for the bow being mending is you need to then carry around all those arrows, and then you're down still more slots. But you can't, with Infinity, you can't use any of the tipped arrows, or what is the other one called? Spectral arrow? You don't get to use those at all. With Infinity, I think it would be really nice to use those arrows instead, and I'm partial to a mending bow. I don't like having to replace the bow every so often, which you don't have to do super often, but eventually you're going to have to, because it's going to, or become too expensive to use, and then just out of luck, and not ideal. So the eventual goal would be make it a quiver, make it so I can use that, because I feel like it fits within the game pretty well to have all items that are like tools, or used like tools, to have specific enchantments and stuff like that. Just like you can enchant shears and flint and steel, which I think both need updates to them to add more functionality, or just add more durability, because they're really, really nice tools, especially for what they do. It's just not a lot of people use them because of the added functionality to the hoe. You really don't need shears, and it's iron, so it's super cheap, and you just recraft another one instead of making really nice pairs of your stuff and repairing it and maintaining it and keeping it. And I don't, it might just be my mentality against consumerism, but I am not a huge fan of that way of playing the game. I like to try to keep and maintain tools that I have, And like, if I break them, I break them. Like, that was the whole reason before updating to... It was whatever added the smithing templates. I don't remember which one. Not been the trials. I don't remember which one it was. Whatever added those templates is I spent an entire time being essentially a netherite beacon to make excess tools so I didn't have to worry about dipping into my diamond supply. Because you can't just mine diamonds on super flat because there's no stuff. Well, there's stuff because I put stuff down. Nothing down there. It is just whatever you build. So there's no normal way of collecting diamonds. So you have to collect them from end cities, or you can collect them in trial chambers. In trial chambers is a lot more fun to collect them. It's still not perfect. I would really like to not use those because I like decorating with rare items. And it's a teal blue that I don't get access to any other way because I don't have access to any of the, what is it, the monument? It's the water temple. I don't know. I don't have it, so I don't remember what it is. So, because I don't have access to that, it's my only real source of that light blue color. Other than wool and I guess concrete, can get closer, but still not that color. And I would love to be able to build more with it, but it's reserved more towards accent colors. So it's a little rough on it, but we survive. We'll be fine. Don't easy yet. Good. I really should have grabbed shoulders. The thing is I think I'm full over here on the things. And I gotta sneeze. I'm brave. I can not sneeze. Where did that? Oh. You pocket. You there. You up. And then I need to put a new chest on. 3, 4. I need 1 for there, 2 for that. Okay. Chest. Oh. I think I just got a follow. Thank you to, I don't know if you're still watching, but thank you for the follow. I don't know if that was accidental. But thank you for the follow. Oh no, I fell. You. What? Why? Why you do that? Be nice, don't do that. What did I only... X. Yeah. Poppers. Okay. Now I can load it a lot. I'm just gonna grab the rest of these. Don't need you. Box. Ooh, this does mean I'm really confused where all this extra. That doesn't account for all. Moving on. Yeah. And more. Fine. Bye-bye. Good night. Go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep. So, okay. I am super distracted because I'm like all over the place because I'm not normally streaming this world. I would like to stream a lot more in this world. I just don't normally do it. I stream. And now I am. So, that. But like I said before, I had all the water there to spawn proof for the mob farm up there, which is currently off because I have stuff. Some better systems for it. I just haven't. Eventually, I will set up better systems for it. But for now, I am clearing out a larger area all the way out to the follower farm here. This is all going to be brought down to the bedrock. Just doing TNT blasting for it. Back. But right now I'm just doing this because I don't need grass, but I feel like if I had a ton of grass, it would be nice. I don't know. Grass seems like it might be useful. Keeping it. Harvesting a mass amount for reasons. I don't know what those reasons are yet. I will know eventually. Well, I know I will need tons of grass eventually. I don't need it necessarily right now. I will get more grass just to... I want to have it now so I don't have to build a farm for it later. Because if I have to build a farm, then it's going to be bad. Stuff. I don't want to do stuff. I want to just play the game. I don't know if that makes sense, because, like, this is doing stuff, but this is, like, cathartic, where I just harvest mass amounts of materials. That's why I have that giant storage silo beneath the bedrock, because I find it really soothing to just go out and do this. Just collect lots of material. Or in the nether, just collect all of that. Because I could have built a world eater. I've built small world eaters before. They're just not very fun. Like, it's fun, like, getting all that progress, like, building the thing, and then, like, seeing it work. And then it just eats the world as it goes. And it just leaves nothing. It's fun. But at the same time, you don't get really any of those resources. And I really like those resources. So, for me, I find it more enjoyable to just dig and mine and get all the stuff. Even like digging that I've dug perimeters by hand before. So I've not dug a full-size perimeter by hand before. But I've dug perimeters for other farms, like slime farms and other farms, by hand, and it's enjoyable to me to do it because like I'll get like an hour, just sit down and do nothing but mine. And I don't have to use my brain at all. I can just sit down and it's just really nice. Because it means that I can play games and get relaxation from it without having to be focused or be skilled in the game. Where like I'll play other games like Hades and stuff, and I will need to focus on like doing well in the game. This is gonna be sad. Okay, that's it. I'll break you by hand again. There. Rockets, and I need to go get XP. Oh, and I lost all my stream. Something died there for a second. I think I just lost everything. 1 second. Okay. Are we back? Good. Sometimes that happens. Bad things happen. Very bad things. It looks like it's fine. The stream definitely cut out there, and I'm not. Okay. Back to the game, I guess. I think we're going good. We'll see. Did I put the bed away? Okay. I don't know why I lost stream there for a second. Good. This still looks froze. Good or not good? We live or are we not live? Okay. It looks like we're still live. And we're good, I think. Possibly, maybe. Sort of. There. Okay. I think we're good. Doesn't matter. I can just start in. XP. No, actually. I must go down here and get a rocket. What do I put my rockets? Rockets? They're still here. I'm running low on rockets. Into the nether. Into the nether, clunk. Oh my gosh. Why is that so loud? What is... Oh, is it think these are... Oh, it's because of those. Okay, option... Music... Friendly creature. Okay, that's marginally better. We'll just ignore it. And pretend like it's not a problem. Do with everything. Are you guys mad at me? What are you doing in there? How did you get there? I'm not sure how you got there. Sure. Hang on. Yeah. That. Okay. So, take a drink. You are watching. Take a drink. Most probably you need one. Maybe. Possibly. You probably do. Um. Oh, it's it's strange. I don't think I've had those viewers might all be me, but I don't normally have this many viewers. So it's kind of cool to see so many. I don't know how loud this farm is. It's probably way louder than me. It's not great, but I got all those mine carts, got all the pigs dying, so it probably sounds terrible. But is my fastest source of XP for repairing things, so I kind of need it to stay this way. Sweetly, all the way down. Don't activate the elytra to the very end. Parachuting, and it's kind of fun. Back to get grass in my pockets. Off of all these. Please, sir, may I have some more? And then just collect grass. Repeatedly. Forever. All I do, apparently. I really don't know what people are supposed to talk about when they stream. Because you can talk about a lot of things. You can talk about what's going on in the game. I don't know. I don't feel like I watch that many people that don't do. They have like a specific plan for the stream, or they stream with other people, so they just sort of riff off of each other. So they don't really have to worry about like thinking of what to talk about. Just like, whereas like I'm not hanging out with them right now. Nor do I know anyone who'd be like, yeah, I wanna talk with you while you're drinking. I have internet friends. I have like only real life friends. Like the only real media I consumed last year was books. Didn't even read that many books. I only read like 3 books. So I don't know really what's going on in greater universe. Besides what my real life friends would be like, hey, did you see this thing? And every single time I'd be like, nope. I did not see that XYZ happened on this. And they're like, what? Are you living under a rock? And I'm like, intentionally so. Because it is nicer to not think about like all of the things that aren't like in your community. Like if it's like something to do with my school or something to do with classes or just like, you know, stuff that's directly happening in my neighborhood or stuff like that, like I don't know much about it. And I kind of prefer it that way. It makes me more worried about my like how I treat others on a day-to-day basis. At least I feel it makes me think about like treating others more kindly that are not like you can be like empathetic towards everyone and people you don't even know. But I feel like that made me less empathetic and caring towards the people that were in my life. So focusing more on spending time just being present, I guess is the best way to say it, with those people that were like in my day-to-day life made me, I don't know if it's necessarily the right word would be caring towards them, but it made me, I guess, yeah, caring would be more right. It made me empathetic towards what was going on in their personal lives more so than like how the greater world around them or a societal level thing of how we interact. And I don't know, I'm happy to not look into the news all the time or be on social media or have a million and one internet friends. The couple of friends I got, plenty enough for me. Reading, and I actually did really like not really watching anything or listening to like podcasts or watching videos and stuff, TV shows and movies. I didn't really do a lot of that this year. It was almost entirely just school and books. And I didn't read a lot of books, but the books I did read, I really enjoyed. So I kind of went a little bit of hermit mode on that, and that was partially because like of getting married and school, and it just was, I was burnt out since March. And then December was like the first time I got like a break again. So being able to not worry about so many things, not consume so many things, and just have things like books and school to worry about was definitely what allowed me to get through the year still sane. I guess is a good way to put it. Yeah. I don't know if there's anyone in chat. If you are in chat, I'd love to hear what you guys think about books. Specifically, like that unplugging to just books or a couple of TV shows or whatever, like really reducing what all you consume to minimum. Like not just like consume, but like media, I guess. Like I don't know if ideas of others would be the correct way of putting it, but just that external stimulus. What kind of external stimulus do you get? What do you guys focus on? How do you feel like it makes you be as a person? I'd be curious to see what a lot of people think. Because I think a lot of people really enjoy and really benefit from social media. Whereas it is more of drag for me than it is something that I actually find beneficial for me. So I'd be curious to see what like other people are like, oh, I find it really valuable because of XYZ. What they actually find about social media. Because I don't doubt that it can be beneficial. I know a lot of people, all their friends are internet friends. And I definitely was more internet savvy in that way when I was in high school. But nowadays, I find a lot more value in interacting with people personally, face to face. And it might just be the way my brain works, where it's like, it doesn't feel tangible, it doesn't feel real to have this friendships digitally. Unless, like, I'm calling you on the phone, it doesn't necessarily feel real. And there's friends I haven't seen in years, but I'll call them every once in a while, and I'll regularly interact with them. But, like, I don't think I would have developed the same friendship with these types of people if it weren't for the fact that, like, I met them in person for. I don't know. It's an interesting topic. I think it's more prevalent nowadays with people kind of realizing how predatory social media is towards you, because the longer your retention is, the better it is for them. Them being social media companies. Oh, okay. It's a topic of talking meat to speak upon for those of the greater public to witness upon with their eyeballs and understand the deeper metaphysical ideas behind it. I'm just talking. I would say that's my job. My job is not talking, it's thinking, making decisions. It's not necessarily communicating with others, it's communicating solutions. And why this solution is the best solution. But that's something where, like, I didn't realize when I was like a kid. I was like, oh, I want to be an inventor. And then I kind of realized that's not really a job when I got older, and so I was like, okay, well, I want to be an engineer. And so my mom was an electrical engineer, and I'm like, I don't really want to do electrical. It's too much math. Like, you're not really making things in the same that I would want to, at least. And then my dad was a computer engineer, or a IT guy. I don't really remember. Something. Computery engineering. But yeah, I was like, I don't want to do either of those. So I went more mechanical engineering. And that's what I went back to school for 2 years ago. And I'll be done next year, so that's exciting. And that's kind of why I wanted to start streaming. Cause once I hit the job market, engineering, I'm not going to feel like I have time to stream or do these things that I like. I wanted to try and I wanted to get into, and I want to see what it's like. I can't. I didn't see myself being able to dedicate time to it reasonably. Like, I'm not trying to make a career out of this. I love engineering. But yeah, that's part of why I'm doing this now. Still in school. Because, like, okay, if I can figure out something to balance it, I can find my enjoyment of it, see if I like it. If I don't like it, then it's like, okay, fine, I don't have to do it. But I do enjoy it. I do think I enjoy streaming. It's definitely more enjoyable when there's, like, people in chat talking to you. Without people in chat, it's like, yeah, you're just sort of rambling to yourself for hours as you record not record, but, like, I do record it so I can upload it at nicer quality. Which does. Downloading the VOD, it's always like, I think it's like 780p or something like that. No, 720. Whatever it is. This is 1080p, it's 720. But I record at 1080. Usually it's at 60 frames, unless I got my drawing program. Something is weird with Clip Studio, where it does not like with X being fight. Can you not do that? Where do I need to go? Slowly mine, so it's just bedrock. what was I talking about? Engineering. So I grew up and I'm like, oh, I think I want to do engineering instead. But I didn't really understand why I wanted to do engineering. I'm just like, well, engineers make things, I think, because I didn't actually know what they did. And I didn't really understand what engineers do until recently, where I'm like, someone was talking to me a while back and they're like, what do engineers do? Like, what is their job? And I'm like, I don't know. They're like, what do you do as like a mechanical engineering student? Like study. Like study what? And I'm like, everything. How can... And it's not like science where it's like, oh, I want to know how things work. It's we know how this works, and now we have to figure out how that applies to everything else. So it's like learning the rules of, like when you play a board game, you got to learn the rules of the board game to be a good player at the board game. Like you can get there and like obey the rules that come to your face while you're playing the board game, but you're never going to be like good at the board game or good at the whatever. Really gotta get more shovels. Really like get more shovels. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta learn the rules of a game to be good at the game. Like, you can play poker completely blind, never knowing really what the game of poker is. Actually cool. Okay, that's better. You can play poker and not know options, controls, keybind. Which one is it? Yeah. Now I can look at this. It's great. Without having to hit F5 every single time. So, sorry, it's still loud. Hard to focus. Okay, it's better. You can know without knowing the rules of poker. You can play poker and win games certain times, and then lose games. It goes both ways with poker. I don't necessarily. I don't necessarily think you have to know the rules of the universe to build a rocket, but to build a super safe, super cheap, super optimized rocket, or plane, or car, or anything, you kind of have to know the rules of what materials you have access to, how do those materials interact with other materials, and you kind of have to collect all of that knowledge to then make the best thing. And you don't necessarily like, oh, I know all the rules, I know how everything interacts. You don't necessarily know how it's going to interact. That's why you have things like test engineers, or I forget the name of. It's basically this type of engineer that builds prototypes of what people want to make, and then they test them to failure in all the different ways, and then they redesign and then back and forth. It's not necessarily like one engineer that does that for a company. It's like teams of engineers, and you're on a team that does specifically that type of process. But there's all sorts of types of engineers, and it's really the creation of that there. Creation of materials and different. Oh, I gotta think about one second. Yeah, so engineering is the, like, what we do as engineers is look at the problem statement, and we essentially, for everything, just follow the engineering process. I don't remember the exact engineering process, like the exact words for it, off the top of my head. Too. But you basically start with a problem statement. You're given a set of parameters to say, hey, we want a bridge. It's a very classic engineering. We want a bridge. We want that bridge to be able to, we want it to be a footbridge, so it doesn't need to be strong forever, but we need to be able to drive utility trucks onto it while we're building. Or across it if we need to maintain it. We need to be able to drive some trucks onto it. How much do these trucks weigh? Let's say those trucks weigh 2,000 pounds. And so now you have to think, okay, so you're going to need to be worrying about the static weight of the truck. You're going to have to worry about the dynamic weight of the truck. You're going to have to worry about the frequencies that will be occurring while the truck is driving. You have to worry about the frequencies while people are walking, which is a engineering thing that we didn't initially expect with some of these large footbridges. And there's actually videos out there of bridges like doing the big wobbling. That's like people were walking on it and they're like, oh no, it's going to crash, because they didn't think about the frequencies. It's hard to explain, but it's basically that stepping across it and that consistent walking applied forces built up frequencies that actually caused it to fluctuate in a certain way that was not expected and not designed for. Eventually, those bridges, I don't think any of them crashed or fell from being designed. Don't get me wrong, they might have, but to my knowledge, I don't know of any accidents where bridges broke because of design not being up to snuff. Now, it's not to say that it's not a thing, but for engineers, their entire existence and kind of their purpose, what they do as a job, is to figure out how to design things, make things, and the process of making things, design how to make things. Like, you know the books of IKEA? Like, if you ever bought an IKEA furniture, when you assemble it, there were engineers behind it that figured out how to make it so that it was easy to assemble and that it still had the structural or aesthetic parameters that were set forth by whoever designed it. And so they changed the design to match whatever they need to make it possible for someone to assemble with, like, a screwdriver. That's it. So that's why you get those fancy little screws that you twist on and they lock together. And it's actually really beautiful engineering for the purpose of what they were going for, because it took designs that would be more commonly done with different types of fastening that were very, very strong, or different types of wood that would be much heavier and unwieldy for just the average person to assemble, and made it so that you could just look at pictures and follow the instructions and build the whole thing with a screwdriver. And that's kind of what the engineer's purpose is to change materials and designs and all sorts of everything to meet and understand a particular purpose. Or so kind of what we do as engineers is just solve problems. Like that's our whole thing, is solving problems. And it's not just like, oh, we can solve any problem. It's there's specific problems and specific niches that you fall into when you go into engineering. For electrical engineering, you're solving how best to set up wire pathways, set up how certain circuits are built in, or managing power flow, making sure enough power is sent to certain locations at certain times, managing that. And there's also cost analysis to that. But yeah, no. And then mechanical engineering, it's pretty broad what you can go into with it. A lot of it's machine focused. For at least a lot of my classmates, it's machine focused. For me, I'm less interested in machines. I'm more interested in buildings. Not necessarily a civil engineer type of buildings, but I really do enjoy buildings in the sense that, like, what makes a building not just a hunk of timber and mud and metal, but like an actual place you would want to be in. And there is like a significant amount of engineering behind what makes a building more than just four walls and a ceiling or a hunk of concrete. Because the mechanical side of what I'm really interested in is MEP. And MEP is really the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing of the building. So I'm dealing with things like fluid mechanics. I'm doing stuff where can I put a mechanical closet that fits into a serviceable range? Can someone get in there? Can they reasonably reach all of the wiring that they need to reach? How can we engineer where that wiring is placed so that the construction crew can easily put it in there, that they're not having to snake it in strange ways? Where can we put wiring that we don't have to worry about it? Like if we're doing a residential build, where best can we put the wiring for a house? Where can we engineer, think about, where does this go to be more sensible? Where can we put our airflow ducts for our cooling system, our heating system inside this building? Or the plumbing needs to be going in certain places, and then we need to make sure it's not conflicting with other systems. Can we flow water through this area? Is that going to make a problem? Is that this, that, or the other thing? So, yeah, it's what makes a building more than just four walls or a hunk of concrete or what have you. It really is what breathes life into buildings, and that's the side of mechanical engineering I'm really interested in. And it kind of mixes, like, I used to do plumbing stuff a lot. Not like professionally, I wasn't a professional plumber. But I know my way around plumbing pretty decently. I wouldn't re-plumb anything. I've never re-plumbed anything. But I have fixed a lot of plumbing. A lot of outdoor plumbing. A decent amount of indoor plumbing. And it's all pretty easy. I really hate copper sweating. I never really got good at anything with copper pipes. I really should, but I will probably. I'm just not very good at sweating pipes or soldering pipes because I didn't really understand how that worked when I had to fix it. But I got it done. Works fine. Yeah. That's the side of engineering though. The plumbing side, I really like fluid mechanics. It is such an interesting thing to like, especially water. Water storage, water movement, pipes, tanks, all of that. It's really, really interesting to not only like how they build this stuff, how to design it for the system. So, like you could have a system that you design a plumbing system. Oh, I'm out of it. You can design it for all sorts of purposes. So you could have a very rural system. So you could use very little mechanical parts. You could do ram pumps. You could do pulse pumps, pulse jet pumps, which I think are also called non-mechanical. There's something. It's basically a way of mixing. You basically mix water and air together, and then you guide that down a certain pipe, and then the water tries to escape, and so it drags. Or sorry, the air tries to escape through a thinner tube, and so it like pulses out water. And it's a completely static pump, so you don't put wear and tear on the pipes, which is really, really good when you don't want to have someone come out and service these things. Then there's other pumps where it's like, I don't know, there's pumps and pipes and tanks and stuff are super interesting. Really love it. Same with like airflow stuff. Getting air to specific locations. And manipulating it in such a way that you're cooling or heating or you're creating negative pressure or positive pressure in rooms. Make them clean room or make them make it so that a room is kept cleaner because you are at positive pressure in that room, so all of the dust and everything is going to flow out of the room. I don't know. That's something. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I'm doing. That's the reason I do. My classmates are all like, planes. I want to work for the company that makes the rockets, missiles. I'm like, I want to build buildings. I want to design structures. I want to design agricultural systems. That stuff sounds cool, at least to me. What time is it? What time is it? I got like half. I just need to shovel some snow before I walk on it. I would have done this morning, but I also was supposed to make a Reuben this morning, but I realized I ran out of Swiss cheese. I don't know if you guys care about Reubens or like sandwiches in general, but I love sandwiches. All sorts of sandwiches. But one that I make, I'll eat one every Friday because I'll eat a Reuben every Friday. I used to go to the same cafe to get it. It was like a nice little coffee shop. But I moved, and so I can't go to that same place because it's too far away. But I still every Friday make a Reuben. So I've recently been making mine myself. So I'll get the corned beef. Every like 4 to 5 weeks, I'll get a new corned beef roast. I'll slow roast it. I think actually it's called braising. So like, I'll cook it in some shallow water for several hours. Some people probably do it longer than I do. I probably should do it longer. But what I do is I do it for like 2 hours. And then, yeah. Make that. I really want to make my own rye bread. Because I live in an area where rye can actually grow pretty dang well. It's pretty hardy grain anyways, so I'd love to like grow my own rye and make rye bread by hand. I just gotta learn how to. Part of that is going to be actually getting stuff to like practice making rye bread. That's I actually need to get like rye flour and everything. Try making rye bread. Kind of nail down a formula for how to make it because I do like a bit darker of rye bread. I do like that flavor. To me, it almost tastes like orange, like oranges. So I really like it. I know it's not for everyone, but I want to practice, see if I can make it myself. And then I use Swiss cheese. I believe there's other types of cheese that people use, but Swiss cheese is the correct cheese. I'll use another type. Now I am this afternoon going to use another type. And then some people use Russian something. I don't remember what it is. But Thousand Island dressing is what you're supposed to use. I don't care if someone says otherwise. And then sauerkraut. And then I recently thought this morning that I'm like, I think I need to add some MSG to the sauerkraut cheese. I make it. Or the yeah, I don't know. It's really close to a perfect, like flavor wise, it's nearly perfect. Texture wise, I need to work a little bit on how I'm making corned beef because it's not quite perfect yet. It's really, really close to perfect. I definitely need to work on it more, getting that flavor right, because it is. I'm really proud how like close it is to like perfection right now, but I definitely want to work on it a lot more. There we go. Look at tomatoes. I do not have. There's a couple other sandwiches I want to experiment with. We'll see if I get around to it, but there are a couple others that. You know what I also gotta do? I gotta start streaming later so that I can get more people who are not like at work. Or what? Oh yeah, I have to stream. I'm gonna be streaming later. Well, also in the morning. I think I'm gonna stream more in the morning. We'll see. We'll see. We'll figure something out. My thing is fixed though. Move the circle from the screen. That's just because I like having a small mouse cursor, so sometimes it gets lost. So I have it set so when I press Control, it's a little circle, which drove some people nuts. I streamed last. They're like, "What is that on the screen? What is that? Like, what? You got the circle on your screen? What happened? What are you doing? What's this?" Office. Oh. I definitely need to stream. Ooh, I think my brother just beat up. It's time. That we got real close. I put him a real. I'm trying to beat 20 minutes. I'm trying to get down to do a run in less than 20. Which I did a really good run the other day. Which it was my first one back. Or post one. Still one. It was the day before I streamed. And I got a 22-minute with, I think I did no hit up until Chronos, which was amazing. I don't think I've done that before. It was a really good run. I definitely couldn't improve. There's a couple areas where I just like stood around for a long time doing anything. Or not stood around not doing anything, but it's like it was, I could have definitely. There we go. Yeah, I would look, but I'm so I will look later. He probably did beat mine. He was really close. He had like a 24, I think, or a 23. I gotta double check. I might have already gotten below 22 before that, but that was on previous patches before full release, in which the game was definitely harder, and they've nerfed a lot of bosses. Nerfed a couple of weapons, but it's not bad. The weapons they nerfed, I'm like, it's still easy. Maybe it's because I got better at the game, but like, I feel like it should be more. Listen. Like, all the weapons still feel a little bit overpowered, and it might just be cards, the Arcana, that make you kind of overpowered. But at the same time, a lot of the God runes carry you pretty hard. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to stream that. Maybe, we'll see. What's fun? Saturday? Yeah, I don't stream Saturday. See? I gotta figure out what I'm doing with this Twitch channel. Like, there's a couple of things I gotta set up for it. I gotta set up some information panels, make the whole thing polished. Like, I'm actually know what I'm doing, which I don't know. Make it to. Not that that's ever the intention. It's not necessarily hobby, but it's also like necessarily business that I'm trying to build here. And see where it goes. Which is a terrible thing. It's like, oh, if I happen to make some money, well, the better for me. I was about to say, you can't see, but I'm like thinking. Like, no, wait, I'm not actually doing anything. I was doing the Mr. Pinky to the cheek. I wasn't actually doing it. I was thinking of doing it. I was doing stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's how life is. No. No, but you know. No. Well, it's this. Slowly chip over. Oh, it's gone. And all that's left. Breakable blocks. Not really, because hundreds of thousands of them. I've already broken a couple. I don't know if 1,000. I don't know if I've broken it. because how many layers deep? It's 5 layers deep. Another. The roof. Another. So what would that be? I forget the ratio of it, but I do think I've broken a couple hundred blocks so far. I definitely have a lot to go. What are you doing? Because it takes forever. And it's more risky to do on stream because if you have to do redstone lag, or at least I do redstone lag, because it's more consistent for me than the TNT method, even the cheap TNT method. Never really worked. Plus, the TNT method's really slow. I think the most I could do in consistently was 8 at a single time. Break 8 bedrock at once. Bitch. I think there's stuff. There's potential for doing more than 8. The most I ever got in one single go was 15 or 16 in like a single thing, but it was super inconsistent. Like if I did 16, I would get usually 8 to 12 would consistently break, and then the other ones wouldn't. Or it was like, if I was lucky, I could get 8 to 12 would consistently break. But if I was not lucky, which was most of the time, it would be more like 3 would break, and it would be randomly throughout, and then I'd have to do all sorts of weird breaking with it. So 8's about the maximum you can break, or it's kind of just comes out on you. Breaking them sideways I find super inconsistent too. Breaking them straight downwards is probably the most consistent way I've done. Sometimes you have to do it sideways just because of the way the bedrock sits. But it's because you're going from solid to less solid with the bedrock on the nether roof, it's actually pretty easy to stay straight up and down on it. Just around the edges of things is where you can avoid it pretty easily. It's not a huge deal. But yeah. Bucket. Always with the bucket. So foul. We always talking about what? Saying, yeah. No problem, man? I don't know. I'm just talking to myself. Because no one comes into the stream and says, hey, how's it going? What are you doing today? And I go, ooh, I am digging up grass. I'm not building anything. Oh, but it says you're playing and you're da-da-da. And I'm like, I know. Mine and craft. It's not called mine build. I craft more shulker boxes, just stuff full of grass. And what are you doing with the grass? Oh, who's to say? I haven't decided yet. I just know I need several 100,000 grass. Why? Who's to say? Really? You just need grass. No one really understands why. Everyone needs a little bit. Oh, you're actually getting pretty. Clearing out pathway. The blue man. The discoveries. The discoveries we shall make will revolutionize the world. I was talking with my wife yesterday, and I mentioned that I want to get in. I would love to do I actually really enjoy doing voices, that type of stuff. So I would actually really love to actually voice act and see if like I actually enjoy a more like even if it's just like hobby levels of it, not necessarily like huge business opportunity thing of it. Because like everything is commercialized. That's the unfortunate thing about hobbies nowadays is like if you can't make money with it, why do you do it? And I kind of hate that, but at the same time, like I understand why it is that way. Um, but like I don't know, I kind of just want to do it for fun because I enjoy doing it. But I don't know. I was telling her about it, and she was like, "Well, if you actually want to do it, let me know, and I'll help you find a place that practice it." And like the thing for me is like I don't want to just redub things myself because I don't have a massive range of voice that I can do. I can definitely unlock a lot more if I went and did some voice lessons. Like was shown how to manipulate my voice to do those higher ranges or manipulate it in certain ways. I can do a decent amount. I'm not able to do nearly as much as my dad was able to do. But he had a lot more time practicing than I did, so he could do a decent amount of voices, and he had his favorites that he was really good at. And I don't there's not many voices that I practice that like trying to learn a specific voice. Most of the time what it is I'm just doing it to the voice at the time. And then do that voice. There's voices. You can do voices. You can do voices. But yes. Something actually that was part of what I was streaming a long while back. I don't remember how long last in Stardew was. Probably been months. But one of the things I had with that Stardew world, I still plan to come back to it. I just don't. I gotta wait a little bit longer, kind of figure out what I'm doing with it. But one of my things is because they don't have any voice acting. Is I was voice acting each of the characters, but I'm not very good at the female characters, so I gotta kind of figure out what I'm doing for the female voices. Because that's something like I can do older voices, I can do older men voices, I can do cowboy voices, I can do those grittier, deeper voices a lot easier. Because my comfortable range for singing and like voicing and stuff is in those lower tones. Near kind of a higher baritone, I can very comfortably do, but I can't push singing wise any higher than an alto, like a very low alto. So yeah, I don't know. There's definitely stuff I need to work on before I go back to that. And maybe it's just like maybe I just pull the trigger and I have to practice live, figure it out. And I don't know if that's even interesting or something that people like watching, but it's something that's like, I don't know, when the pressure's on, I usually perform better. Or in practice, like if I'm given infinite time to do something, I can produce very, very, very high quality art, or if I'm on the spot, I can make it. See, and I can make that thing, and it can be awesome. But it's sort of like no in between. Like I'm not great at practicing necessarily for a lot of things. And ability. space. Yeah, no, maybe I do that. Maybe I just practice voice acting. Spur of the moment type of it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see, because I want to practice those female voices for Stardew before I go back to it, because there's a lot of female characters who so not being able to do any of the voices is like difficult. Really need to focus on like getting those voices down before I come back to it. So take a drink because I'm on a little bit break here. To heal. I probably need to go empty a bunch of rotten flesh. Stuff. Which one was? That one's up. Once those are good, well, that'll be good. Oh, just. Oh. And then you fall to your doom. Not really. Your face. I didn't hear my goals break. Odd. Normally you hear ankles shatter, smash. What was the ding? Ding. Something. Something I also thinking about doing. Not necessarily that I'm going to. I think it's more important right now. Because, like, I have I can. It's not that I do. I have pretty bad gear acquisitions. Like, when I want to do something, I'm like, oh, I want to get, like, the good equipment and stuff. But at the same time, I'm pretty good about, hey, like, well, hey, if I want to do bookbinding, I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna figure out how can I bookbind without buying. How can I go through, bind a book together, do all that stuff without ever buying anything? And you can. And like, my sister has done like a lot of bookbinding before. I really want to get her a book press eventually. She normally what she does, she just puts heavy stuff, flat surface, to bind her books, which is great. Like, I think that's the way people should do stuff. They're like, oh, I don't have the thing, just make do with what you got. You don't gotta buy all these fancy like stuff to get stuff done. Now, I do find a lot of value in like, hey, get yourself a good set of tools. Like, if you have the opportunity to, and you're like, I'm going to use this for a lot of different things, go buy the good tools. Or like, don't just buy like the cheap tool or whatever because that's all you could get. Like, get it. There's like definitely merit to just getting what you can get. Or if someone like gives you a tool or whatever, it's like, be gracious. Like, they didn't have to give you anything, but they did. So like, be gracious that you were given it. and like value what you were given. Like a $5 drill can take you a really long way from not having any drill. Or like if you only have a hand-powered hand crank drill, like you can go to long, like we built the world that we see today with similar tools. Like you can build amazing things without power tools. But if you have the opportunity and like it makes sense for you and you're going to use it, and you know you're going to use it, I think there's a lot of value. But circling back to where I was originally trying to go with this is if I definitely want to stream a lot more, and that's why I'm like made this idea of, okay, I'm gonna stream every day till I start school, and maybe I only stream for an hour some days. So far, I'm trying to stream for like 3 hours every day, which is not an insignificant amount of time. I'm also trying to catch up on sleep because I was doing poorly on my sleep schedule for a while, but I want to do well with this, and part of that comes in with getting a proper mic setup, getting proper everything set up to stream better. But I don't need the gear because like what I have can get me by. I can get away with what I got. And so that's kind of what I'm like, as much as I'm like, as much as I want to go, hey, I want to get this tool, this tool, this tool, this tool, this tool, I really need to also take a step back and be like, I don't need XYZ to do this well. I just need to focus on making stuff and making it, and not like making like bad stuff. Like, okay, so one of the things, one of those things that like, oh, if I had a good mic, then I could do this well. Or if I had a GPU, like a good GPU, then I could stream from this computer and I do this without. But really what I need to do is not worry so much about like, oh, I need all these things to be successful at, in this case, streaming. I don't. I want those things because I think they're cool, but I don't need them to be good at this. And so I was thinking about it before, and like the last video I made on stuff, I was like, okay, I need to get a new mic. I don't have a mic. So because the audio quality in my videos is not that good. I just started using DaVinci Resolve, so it doesn't sound as good. All these things, like all these reasons, I'm like trying to figure out reasons to get a new mic. I don't need a new mic. I need to focus more on how best to edit the video or make it more engaging in certain ways. Like, the audio quality is not major. I have bigger, more pressing concerns with how to improve quality, and they're all skill-based, they're not equipment-based. A new pair of running shoes is not going to make you win that marathon, or make you win the race, or make you run faster. They could, but what's going to make the biggest difference for running faster, for having more endurance, or being better at tennis, or what have you, is your skill with the sport. The gear doesn't make you better. And I've been thinking about this, and I'm like, ooh, I should get a mic streaming. I don't need a mic to stream. I need to figure out what do I need to do streaming wise that makes streaming fun for me. Is it the games I play? Is it drawing? Is it what do I need to do streaming wise to make it worth it to me to feel successful in it? And it's like, is success something I'm measuring in numbers? Is success something I'm measuring in enjoyment? I don't know. And that's kind of why I'm like, okay, I'm not getting anything new. I'm just going to take what I have and we're going to see where it goes. So maybe I do need to get a new mic so it sounds better. Or maybe I need to fix the panels and the things and all the cutesy little fluff things on the stream. So that there's like cool visuals. Maybe I need to make like a visual thing. Not necessarily. I'm not going to do face cam because that's not something I really care about. It's not because I'm something about creating things for me. I don't want it to be associated with me specifically. I want it to be associated and that's why I have different names for different. Like my writing pseudonym is not my name. Like I don't publish things under my name. I publish them under a different name. I don't publish art. I publish it under a different name. So for me, it makes the most sense to not really worry about like a face cam or anything because like it doesn't tie to what the purpose of streaming would be. Like it's not to get my name out there. It's not to make me famous. Like I don't have any desire or draw to that side of things. For me, it'd be more about doing stuff and not necessarily making things to be and showing the process of things and not just like here's the end product, yay. And that's like why I started YouTube stuff, is because I was tired of Instagram and the art stuff that I would do where I would spend 80 hours on a art piece and then like 15 people would see it, and I would do another one and spend 100 hours and 12 people would see it, and so it never felt worth it to have that like just showing the end product. It never felt worth it to just show the end product of art. So that's why I switched over to recording the entire process of making art pieces. And I found that a lot more enjoyable because it was like, okay, now you can see I spent 15 hours on just the sketch here. And so you really get to understand and appreciate the time and the effort and the skill that goes into creating certain things and the attention to detail and the focus of it. And so that's part of why I want to stream more, is because it will incentivize me to make an effort towards recording a process of what I'm doing. And like the game, and it doesn't always have to be like, oh, show the process of this, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it could just be fun. Of like, I was playing Hades, too, for the first stream back. And the reason is because I just like playing the game. I didn't feel like there needed to be any like detailed, awesome process of making things. I just needed to, hey, I enjoy this game, enjoy streaming. At least I think I do. Let's stream this as the first game back. And it's well past the hype of that game releasing, so it's not like I'm getting major feedback, like people playing and watching me, seeing like, oh, I didn't know you could do that with the game, this with the game. No, it's really just like me enjoying the game, because I enjoy the game, and it doesn't have to be more complicated than that sometimes. And for this, it's like this is showing the process of what I do to make I plan to in this world. And there's other things like with this world that I need to learn how to do. And there's aspects that I eventually will learn how to do. Specifically, I really want to learn Axiom. I'm right on the verge of like, hey, I think I can start designing an Axiom. And I think when I update to 121.11, update this whole world to 121.11, whenever that update comes out official for my optimization stuff, which is in beta right now, no full release for it yet, I'm going to update to that latest release. I don't really care about if I wait a year and a half to get the next big update, the 26 or whatever. I don't know the name. Terrible. Because the game dev naming scheme is actually really good. I understand why they changed it. It's because Apple did it. Apple changed their stuff, and so it's like, oh, a big industry person changed their OS naming. I mean, you don't have to change to it. The reason we did it the way before is because that's how we identified via numbers. It was a really smart system because it didn't have to do with the year. It had to do with the versioning and how the process worked. It was good. In my opinion, it was good. It's not necessarily as user friendly because it's not intended for all users. It was for more technical reasons. So changing it to a less technical naming scheme makes it more difficult for technical users and programmers to actually interact with it. It's unfortunate, but I'm going on tangents and tangents. But the point is I'm going to switch over to Axiom. I'm going to get Axiom, and I'm going to play around with it. And I'm going to start designing the trees in the forest over here. Eventually, I'm going to do desert, which the desert's going to take a long time to build because it's very big, which I think is fine. Have it just be massive, with it being extremely like a giant project of just designing it and building it out because I want it to be more scale-like. If you're curious what that is, I can show it, but I don't know if it's on in the chat looking, or if they want to talk. There's other people in the chat, but I don't know. Up to them. Yeah, no. I definitely want to learn Axiom. It will make it so that I can do the things that I want to do. But I need to obviously, yeah. I need to get everything up to date with mods and stuff to where I'm comfortable being with the mods that I have for a long time without updating. More so because I really don't expect to update very often after in 2026. I don't think I'm going to update to any of the new stuff until 20. Is kind of unfortunate because of the way they're doing the drop system. It kind of forces me to say, hey, I can't update until you guys have completed the game that you're trying to update to and everything. Ugh. Like, I can't wait forever for them to get to the next thing and then use the mods to do the next thing. I want to get to a point that's like end of the update cycle, so I'm not worried about. Are they coming? Yes. Yeah. I want to get to that point before I update to Axiom or get Axiom and start working with it. I want it to be like, oh, I don't get access to all these new things until later. Until like a year from now. Because I need to treat their drop system like one big update year. Because if I don't, then I have to worry about updating all the mods, and it's gonna be forever, and or I constantly update all the mods, doing more worrying about like making sure the mods are all stable and that instead of just designing builds or collecting material or building farms, building builds. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at right now with it. I don't know. There's gonna be things. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think. Um. There's a lot with. Okay, hi, bye. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I don't know, I say we. It's not like anyone else. You know, I'll figure it out. I feel like this whole stream has just been me rambling, not necessarily coherently, because my brain is a little bit. I'm not super on like trying to say versus meaning what I say versus like saying what I feel super coherent on that right now, which is it's fine. Sometimes you have days like you don't need to be every time. Just need to be. Well, I don't know. Okay, so some of the advice I've heard about streaming, I've asked these questions before. It's like the people who've been doing streaming. I'm like, hey, what is your biggest recommendation if you want to get started? And they're like, don't stop talking. Even if it's not enjoyable what you're talking about, don't stop. Dead air is terrible. Okay? I can work with that. And they're like, other than that, just enjoy what you're doing. You don't enjoy streaming what you're streaming, stream something else. So it was like, the basic advice was, don't stop talking and enjoy what you do. Make sure you enjoy what you do. Maybe there's more advice to it than that, but that's what I remembered. So, but if that was like all the advice I was ever given on this, I think I feel pretty good about like if all I really need to focus on be okay, like do okay at streaming. It's don't shut up. And I think I can figure that out, and I can figure out like, oh, what can I talk about? This, that. Um, there's definitely some niches that I'm like, ooh, I have an idea of thing. I think that would make for a fun stream. And one of those things is I want to go and I set up my camera and everything, and just point the camera towards candle, and just make the stream title. The stream ends when the candle goes out, and just stream until the candle burns all the way. And just put a camera and like, not necessarily like just point at the candle and talk. I mean, like, go play a game or whatever. Do what I'm normally doing on stream, but just put a hard stop. Candle goes out. I end the stream, and then I'll just pay attention. Like, hey, the candle's getting pretty low. And I go and I stop what I'm doing. I grab that candle, and I just wait for it to go out. And once it goes out, I hit end stream. Just done. I think that would be really fun. I don't know who all would watch it. I think it adds an element of like, it's like seeing a progress bar. I guess like in graphics design, like a satisfying progress bar is way better. And even if it's not true, it's like a fake progress bar is better than sitting and watching a blank screen waiting for everything for. And that's like game design and everything design. It's like, it's better to like see there's a progress bar. There's something happening. Than not see anything at all. And I think fire is cool. I really like fire. I like candles. Not necessarily smell. Can't smell. They're cool. Yeah. This stream might end early too, by the way. I don't think I'm gonna get to a full 2.5 hours. I think I will end. Have a wife gets home. I was planning to go till 3, but I thought I could have sworn she might out. Don't know. Once she gets home, stream. Just because I value my time with her. I value stream. Even though I'm really enjoying stream. I value my time with her more. Because spending time with her is more fun. Anyways. Don't tell. Doesn't need to. Favorite thing in the world. I don't even know if the microphone. That sounds. I listened back to one of the little bit of the audio from years ago. And the audio sounds really quiet. Like my talking sounds really quiet. The game was like overpowering, which someone actually popped in and was like, "Hey, can you turn down the game sound? It's really loud." I'm like, "Yeah, I can turn it down." But they didn't tell me that my mic was. I kind of wish they did, because that's fine. Hopefully this is more balanced. I brought up sound a little bit on my mic. I don't know if I'm peaking. I'm not hitting hard. That's fine though. Calm down, buddy. Yeah, I think once I can start doing Axiom and stuff, I think Minecraft streams will be a lot more interesting because I'll actually do stuff rather than just collecting with no real goal in mind. Well, I mean, I have ideas and goals of what they're supposed to be, but being able to actually go into Axiom and be like, hey, we're gonna design a tree, or we're gonna design one Tong's library, which I'm still working on certain things for the library. Something I might need to roll back before, just for some villager curing stuff, because I don't have any super villagers. It's like a one-to-one trade. A couple of things. It was I need a one-to-one trade on rotten flesh and trade on glass paintings. Those are the ones I think I need to redo. I think they died. The witches or something like that. Okay, we're at 2.5 hours. I think if we go another half hour, okay. We'll see. I don't know though. That's one of the things where like you good? Good. What was I talking about? So, okay, I think I can now. Or more down to them. Not cool. I was gonna say something. I don't remember what it was. It was a thing for sure. What it was? Yeah. Absolutely. So, one of the things I was like, oh, I gotta wait till I'm not wait till I'm done with the nether. Start acting. I think I'm good to like just start Axiom and like start designing things. Because I think there's a lot with the builds I want to work out first. Get good, like I want the build to be like, I'm never gonna change that. Start building. There's a couple of things with that I have to do first once I start building. Because this is gonna be a giant tree, and there's gonna be a giant forest. But one of the things I need to do for that is actually get lightning rods up at build height, spaced out. I forget how much they need to be spaced out. But space them out so like lightning never strikes down here anymore. So that nothing burns because I got fire tick on. None of things I have built, giant things like the rings right here. This was originally supposed to be the original diameters of the tree. I'm thinking they're wrong. Like it was big. I was going for like 1/5 scale. I think I need to do a lot bigger. That's why I'm like hesitant to start. I'm like, it needs to be world height. But I might also increase world height. Infinite. With sky's the limit. And that's the one where I'm like, if I really decide to switch over, that might be the factor that's like, if I choose sky's the limit and I make my world one with sky's the limit, I might just be stuck version if the mod stops updating. And it's one of those mods where it's like, if it stops updating, my world is just stuck there. That's, to me, is fine. There's not necessarily new content that's going to make me like, oh, I wish I was playing on that version. That's not happened since probably the Trials update made me want to update because it gave me access to snow, gave me access to scaffolding, which anyone who's never played Super Flat doesn't really understand how huge that is. But if you've played Super Flat prior to the Trials update, you understand how valuable, or even if you understand technical stuff, you understand how valuable scaffolding would be. It allows you to do vertical redstone in ways that it's really, really difficult to do without. It's actually what allowed me to build a proper dirt farm. I spent months trying to make this dirt farm that I found work in Super Flat, and I just couldn't get it to work because they compacted it so much that like, and optimized it to the point where I'm like, I worked at it for months to work without scaffolding, and then they made it so that I could get scaffolding. Oh well, now I just need to pay to get scaffolding. And that was the last time I like updated early. I've not updated since. I have never felt a reason to. I mean, bundles maybe. But of course, I can just download a plugin that gives me bundles. Because they were experimental for so long, so it's like that one's not a huge deal. Updating. I am probably going to lose internet to current, whatever it is, current update. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. They're making it a lot easier to mod than it was before. So that is something. Because it means when eventually my mods break, I'll be able to. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think one of the rough things about streaming is people enjoy watching a stream more. There are other people also watching the stream. Like if it's you and the dude or gal streaming, it's way less enjoyable to watch. At least from like my experience of like how people interact while I'm streaming. Is they're way less likely to yeah, so people are way less likely to like come watch a stream if there's not other people watching the stream. So like if it's just me streaming, I think those 3 viewers are bots. But it's if you have like if there's it Um, um, it's more enjoyable to watch a stream when there's other people watching the stream and like the streamers interacting and talking and having a conversation. Where it's a lot less enjoyable when it's like you and just the streamer, and unless you're like enjoying listening to them talk and just having the conversation with them. That's what I've noticed. I've noticed people enjoy watching streams when there are people watching, and that's just me noticing this. That's not necessarily true or like a fact of like how streaming works, but just like what I've noticed from me trying this out is, and trying it in the past, is that people will like watching far more when you have other people watching. And so it's not just like maybe you think about it in a like a busing type of way. If you're out on the subway with your guitar and you're playing music for people, people are going to be more interested in coming and listening to you play your guitar subway if you have one or two other people. No, more people will stop and listen because they see other people stopping. But if no one stops and listens, it's really hard for you to build up an audience of people that will stop and listen to what you're doing. That's how I think of it. That's not necessarily always true. Like if you have an amazing musical skill, then yeah, do whatever you do. It's great. Keep it up. People will come by and they'll be like, oh, toss a coin in your hat or whatever. It's because the quality of your music was eye-catching or ear-catching enough to be like, stop and listen. Yeah. It's how do I make myself interesting enough? Or like what I'm doing, how do I make what I'm doing interesting to the people or people that might show up? Like how do I sound interesting enough where people would say, oh my goodness, this is so good. Thank you for doing it. Or like they stop by and they're like, oh, this is an interesting little show you got going. Like, so tell me a little about it, and then you have your little bit of conversation with it. But it's that initial, how do you capture the attention, that hook? How do you hook them in? How do you maintain it? And that's something that, like, in writing I understand how to do. It's not something in everyday how do you do that when you're just talking while playing a game, or drawing, or doing whatever? Like, how do you maintain attention? How do you do X, Y, Z? That's something that I'm like trying to understand how to figure out that aspect of stream, because I don't really understand it, and I think it'll either come to me naturally or someone will teach me how it works, or I will find people that just doing and they enjoy the conversation. I don't know. Like that's currently where I'm at, where I'm like, it's either going to come naturally or it's not, and I'll learn how to do it. And I think I do that with a lot of things. It's you'll either figure it out or you won't. Hitting, loading the shape. I don't know. I think I can go another 15 minutes. It's definitely, I'm doing this for like, what, 2 hours mining up dirt or grass. I feel I want to say maybe double. I know, probably around a single chest of shulkers, something around that. Enough shulkers to make sense. Do it. But that's the thing. Hey, what's up? Sorry, I might be the tiniest bit slow at like seeing. But yeah, what's up? How's it going? Hope you're having a good day. I'm just digging up a mass amount of grass with no real reason at the moment. I know I'm gonna need tons of grass for some builds in the future. So I'm like, oh, I might as well do it now. Because I also need to spawn proof the area because it's lying. But yeah. Welcome. I'm not sure how well you can hear there. I feel. Play with viewers. I've never played multiplayer before. In fact, I don't think I've ever played multiplayer any game. To be quite honest with you, I kind of grew up with games that were not multi. So it was either you had to play co-op with like the people next to you, or like you had to bring them over and play that way, or you didn't really play with other people. If that makes any sense. So my answer is not no, I don't play with viewers, but I never have. So I guess it would depend on like what exactly I was playing. Like if I was playing intentionally like co-op type game, or not co-op, but like a player game, then I think I would definitely play with viewers. But for this world, no. This is a single player world. So I'm definitely not gonna play with other people in this world, especially because I have very specific plans with it, and I don't necessarily want to include other people on those creative plans. But I definitely will open up the world to like stuff later on with some people. Once I get more progress on it. Right now, I don't have a ton of progress. At least like detailed, interesting progress. To me, it's not that interesting, but also like I've been playing for like let's look. See. I'm played 62 days. What is that in hours? A lot. 62 times 4. Yeah, like 1,400 hours. Plus whatever amount was lost since, what would it be? Years? I don't know. There's several hundred hours that are like missing because statistics got messed up from crash. I nearly lost it, but I had a couple of backups. Able to roll back, get stuff, and keep going. Oh, so nice, no more times. Actually, I do mean eventually because Oh, I'm big for it. Can actually get a working mob switch. I'm not. So I built one before with the silverfish spawning thing. It didn't work. And I don't know if it's because stasis chambers are not working in 1.21.1, or if it's a different issue, like I didn't set it up right. I might end up just doing villager, the zombie villager thing. It might be easier. Let's see. Yeah, I do think I will end stream in 10 minutes. Start to get a big food. And then it's gonna be immaculate. Not for the fact I'm just gonna say this and look at it. Yeah. I oh goodness. Goodness gracious. You know what'd be fun is I have a couple of friends who are like, ooh, I wanna play and I'd be like, oh, I'll play when I got time off from school. Well, I got time off from school, thinking set up a long-standing world and just stream on there, see what happens on it. Maybe nothing. Who's to say? Let's set up a server in that way and just. I would definitely want it to be like a long standing, not necessarily like. Oh, the thing is for me is I don't abandon worlds very often. Leave it like I'm done with the world. Normally, what I do is I just build something new or reset like stuff and just not like reset, but just like drop all my stuff and spawn somewhere else. Just kind of restart the survival experience, which I've done twice. I think twice? I don't remember. I've done it before. At least once. We'll see. I'm not gonna do that with this world. Mostly because it's rough. It's really rough. What I really want to do is play hardcore again, because this world was supposed to be hard. And then I died 50 times. And like restarted. And those streams are lost to time because I didn't think to record them. But I definitely want to go back and I want to keep it flat in hardcore. Because it's not hard. It's not like a difficult thing. But, I don't know. It'd be something fun. In my mind. Do and try and okay. What we're gonna do is dig up all the grass, live in the boxes, put those boxes in a thing. You know what I gotta check, because I might actually need arms back. Mob farm. I don't know if I have enough tea or I think I have several double chests of TNT, so it should be good. I don't need to run sand. But yeah. Oh. Let's see. Those. Four. We're gonna repair these last 6 boxes. Stack of hits before 2. Was kind of entirely built because I needed XP and have a lot of blocks. And not necessarily because I had any need for gold, which I still don't have any. But you know what? That's fine. Are they coming in? Yeah. Itchy backside. Okay. Ugh. Halfway repaired. And I think I can throw. What do we will see? Yeah, that stuff, things. Sorry. Didn't mean to shake the screen. It's probably dizzying. Should do that. Off we go. Ooh, that was a close one. I would have exploded. Okay, I think I can finish these 6 boxes. What I got, durability wise. Okay. We will see. So that's something. I don't know if the chatter is still here. Okay. It's something. Something interesting to me. It would happen more when I first started streaming stuff, and I would stream Minecraft with this world in more of its infant state, where it had so much early planning stuff. Is people would pop in and they're like, "Ooh, you want to join our server?" And this was back in like 2021, 22, so like still kind of that lockdown era stuff. So a lot more internet bound people. Or they'd be like, "Hey, do you play with viewers?" You want? Would you let me join your world or this, that, or the other thing? And I'm like, no. No. Don't want to join your server. I also had terrible internet. Couldn't actually like stream or do anything like that. Or I could stream, but it's like I could only stream like a couple hours every month. So it's not like there was like a huge benefit to it for me. Yeah. And then some of them are like, "Are you gonna make a YouTube video? How to what you're doing?" And I'm like, I don't make those because I didn't back then. And also, I don't now on games at least. I don't think I'd be a very enjoyable gameplay content. It's just not a niche that I really feel like I fit into. Not doing streaming games, I feel fine, but like the things, know about that one. Don't know about that. This water seems questionable to me. I'm not a gamer. I can't make gamer content. I don't know the gamer lore, the gamer vibes. Where are we looking? Okay. We have 4 boxes to get. Yeah, I think I can get 4 boxes done, and then end stream. Yeah, we can do that. You need to do sleep. Speaking of sleeping, buy our new and improved cooling pillow. It's cooling pillow. It does everything a normal pillow does, but instead of being warm, you have the cold side of the pillow all the time. How do you cool it? Oh, we run liquid through the pillow. Why would you run liquid through the pillow? Because the pillow is cooled best when you cool the pillow with liquids like water. Could you imagine if that's how I talked on stream the whole time? Just always speaking in individual sentences, focusing only on speaking slowly, 1 word, or 2, sometimes 3 or 4 at a time, keeping it short and concise, so that anyone could easily translate my words on demand to any other language. It gives you a lot more time to think when you talk like that. About what you're going to say. Sometimes I'm like, is the music over? But then that's just my voice. It's too loud to hear. No, it's not over. You're just loud. Just talking. We're gonna finally get this last little bit and store. I think I have to update the list here. Because I think I have a lot of new followers since the last did this. I'll have to double check. But I think I have. Okay, that would make 3, 4. At the net. Pick that up. Add more grass. All the grass. Ooh. I'm gonna place all this dirt right there. I want it to be grass. But this area is just gonna look nicer. Also, you can mine slightly faster. But that is not the reason. I don't remember if it is dirt you can mine faster. I think it is dirt you can mine. How many? That's fine. Yeah. Oh. So my main issue with this comes from earlier when I was in the stream talking about this. But one of my issues here is I'm not sure what I should be like what's popular. Like what do people like watching stream wise, like for games? And so I'm like asked a buddy and I'm like, hey, what do you think is like good streamer game? He was like, oh, go for Arc Raiders. And so I was looking it up and I'm like, oh, what is Arc Raiders? It's like, oh, it's a free to play game. Oh, okay. I think I could do that. And then I went and I looked later and I'm like, it's not a free to play. Hold on, one. here.